One game left in the SheBelieves Cup. Both the USA and France can still win this tournament. A win would do it for the USA. A draw would do it for France.
Four of the best teams in the world face off against one another in the United States in a cup that transcends both rivalry and results to inspire those watching to believe in something greater than themselves.
Can she get a shot up? She does! This is spectacular!
This is the SheBelieves Cup. United States versus France, next on FS1.
This is the SheBelieves Cup Tournament pregame show. It's brought to you by AT&T. Tonight from RFK Stadium in our nation's capital, the USA gets ready to take on France. And only two teams are capable of winning this trophy the way those standings look right now. France, who's in the #1 spot, and the USA, who's in the #3 spot, entering play tonight. Welcome, everyone, to our soccer coverage here on Fox. Alongside Ali Wagner, I'm JP Dellacamera. When you look at the USA starting 11, it looks like it did in Game 1, except for one big change.
It is, and that's Rose Lavelle. She's probably getting a reward for her performance the other night. She's going to be on the right flank. Sticking with the three-back, Jill, I'm not entirely sure how much they're going to be tested with France playing one up top. What I am interested in seeing, though, is how can the USA get Carly Lloyd in that #10 spot involved. And then up top, Lynn Williams, Kristen Press have done such a great job defensively, being an outlet offensively in transition, but they're going to have to get in behind this French team tonight. And in goal, what jumps off the page is that Melanie Girard is getting the start and not their longtime mainstay, Buati. Everyone at home is going to be familiar with Amadine Henry, #6. She's the one who paints the field for France, plays her club ball with Portland Thorns in the WSL. And then Eugenie Lesommer up top is one of the top strikers in the world.
One of these two teams will lift the trophy at the end of the night. Which one will it be? The USA or France? Come back with us. Kickoff is next. Moments away from the kickoff between the USA and France. Moments ago, Jenny Taft caught up with USA head coach Jill Ellis.
Well, Jill, at this point in the cycle, you rarely get a chance to play for a tournament title. What's the message to the team ahead of tonight's final match?
Well, exactly that. It was like a dream scenario in terms of it's a must-win game for us. So, you know, I mean, the takeaways are going to be huge from this, and just, you know, enjoy it, and obviously get us on the top of the podium.
All right, best of luck.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jenny. Set for the kickoff. USA in red. France is in white. Our referee, Marie-Soleil Boudouin. Underway from RFK Stadium. Up the middle from US, #3 in red for the US. Ali Long returning to that center back position. High pressure here early from France. It results in a takeaway towards the end line, but the US will recover and try to move it out. Look at France with Henry. Over the top again. And it falls into the middle. Lesommer was looking, as were others. It comes back out, and it's blocked off Toliti. And now the USA will try to break. Up this right sideline. Knocked away from Press. What a quick start, though, from France.
Well, when we spoke with Jill Ellis, she talked about the possibility of coming out and man-marking all over the field for the first 5 minutes and putting France under pressure. But the opposite is true today. France is coming out high pressing, gets the first real chance on goal.
That's Melanie Girard in goal. Buati normally plays in these games. Has been their starter in the last 3 tournaments, so this caught us by surprise.
It absolutely did, but Girard has been playing under Chouafini in the Euro qualification process, and perhaps it's just a question of seeing if there's someone who can be a little more consistent. Buati can make great saves, but she also is good for 1 or 2 mishaps per half, and if they want to get on top of podiums in tournaments, they might need to find someone that's a little more consistent.
Somewhat ironic, she's the backup on the French team, and she's also the backup on the club team to Buati. Right side, Tomis. Looking to play it across the U.S. Not a good clearance. Pressure on the ball from Lynn Williams. It's coming back deeper. Becky Sauerbrunn is after it for Lavelle, and that's taken off her foot. Lavelle with a nice recovery, then Lloyd, that's blocked. Masri. And the French will get it back in their own half. All the way back to goal. Driven long. Flicked forward by Lucinaire. Played back to the feet of Nair. She had to get rid of that quickly with Tomis right there.
Well, I thought they were going to come out in a 4-5-1, but it looks like France might be in a 4-3-3 in these initial minutes here, trying to put USA under pressure, and that's why Tomis was able to jump on that through ball.
Cleared by Girard. U.S. won it back, but not for long. George with a clearance. Collision there, but France will take off with the ball. For this joint in the attack, Lucinaire, terrific goal scorer, looking, passing this time, broken up. U.S. will try to counter quickly. Played up by Morgan Bryant. Press pulls it back. Rose Lavelle. Nice ball. Morgan Bryant stopping. Cutting, crossing. For Press, doesn't get there. Far side for Tillman Heath. And it should be a USA corner. Another nice touch though from Rose Lavelle.
So good, so confident. I mean, only 3 minutes in, and she's starting off the way she finished the last match against Germany. Just able to pick apart defenses with her vision and composure.
Heath has been taking all the corners and free kicks when she's been in the starting 11. It's her second start of this tournament. Came on as a sub last game versus England. France will clear it out. Press kept it alive for Heath. Into the box it comes. Right side, Lavelle trying to play it across unselfishly. Cleared out for a goal kick. She's playing her second straight game and in a second different position.
Well, when you have someone with such a soccer brain like Rose Lavelle, it doesn't matter if she's on the left or the right. Yes, she's a lefty, but that just gives you a lot of options. She can cut into that left foot. And here she is, wide open in the box. One of the things for this French team is they are not very disciplined in their marking in the box, and that is a clear picture of it. Something the U.S. is going to look to take advantage of.
On the back heel, Lynn Williams fires it, but it's right at Girard. But it's good to see the early confidence from Lynn Williams not giving up that ball, having to go at goal on her own. Surprisingly, she has the only goal of this tournament. The USA has had a hard time scoring goals.
And you can be frustrated as a USA fan, but the bright spots and all that is that they're working on their build-up play.
Henry sending it forward. Tomis has the speed to catch it. So does Casey Short, who will play it all the way back to Lucinaire. Second start of this tournament for Lucinaire. Shut out in game 1 against Germany. Perisset on the right. Halfway line gained and headed forward. Perisset continues her run. Others are trying to join in the attack. The U.S. will get it with Short. That was a difficult pass to attempt. Fighting to win it back was U.S. It's played back. Cleared by Long. The French keep it alive in play, and now it goes out for a France throw-in. Coming off that scoreless draw against Germany. Beat England 2-1 with 2 late goals past the 80th minute.
But France did dominate that second half against England, and I think that was the rightful score.
Lloyd pushing it back. Nudge there, the ball was taken away off of Morgan Bryant, who tries to recover. Nice ball sliding through, and a takedown. That's a penalty. What a terrific ball, though, that was. It forced Nair to come out, And Le Sommer was brought down, so France will have an opportunity to get on the board.
Well, I think this French team has been lacking when Le Sommer has not been up top. Well, here she is. Look at this beautiful slip run in between Long. And then Nair has to come out, makes that decision perhaps a little late, but this is a beautiful ball laid right in. And great timing from France.
Abili will take it in the 8th minute. Abili with a strike, and she scores, and France leads.
Well, this is what you want if you're USA. I know that doesn't seem right, but these are the tests. These are being exposed in moments that a great team can do to you, and you'll just get a look at USWNT getting in behind. Rightfully earns that penalty kick, and Abili makes no mistake about it. Sends Nair the wrong way. Inside of the foot, into the corner there. Not even into the corner. Nair just goes the wrong way, and an easy put away.
So far, Abili, it's her 31st international goal, gives France the lead.
I mean, we've talked about it all tournament long, that we want to see this U.S. back three tested, and no one had been able to do it until right now. This is about the 7-minute mark into this game against France, and one run in behind creates havoc.
USA trails for the 2nd time in this tournament. They only trailed on that goal around the 90th minute. It turned out to be a game-winning goal for England's Ellen White. Here's the U.S. back in the ball. How do they respond? Press leaves it off. Here comes the U.S. Oh, that ball needed to get through. Williams was open. The speed of France coming back, amazing. And here they go again. An opportunity in the box. Quick shot taken, and it's a 2-0 lead. Le Sommer. Just like that, from one opportunity at one end, alley, they go all the way upfield.
And we've talked about this with transition moments. How is this for a picture-perfect transition for France? They pick off that entry pass by Tobin Heath, and that's Renard. Not necessarily known for her playmaking abilities, but just flights that over the top, and Le Sommer runs onto it, gets in behind Long. Sauerbrunn falls down. Nice bit of skill to cut back against her momentum there, and then a clinical finish.
53rd international goal. We saw something we don't see often. I can't remember seeing this. The U.S. huddled after conceding that 2nd goal. I remember the World Cup final, USA versus Japan. I can't recall which goal it was. Maybe the 3rd goal that Japan gave up. They went into a big huddle. And that's what the USA did there. They're not used to trailing in games, not this early, not by 2 goals. So again, how do they respond?
Well, you want answers. This is going to tell you a lot, but I think this is what Jill Ellis wanted to see. We want to get exposed because we want to learn from these moments. And it doesn't mean that this 3-back can't work against France. It doesn't mean these 3 backs can't be the starters ultimately in 2 years. It just means there's a lot going on with where was the pressure on the ball? Why was that ball flying over the top? Were we dropping early enough? Can we knock the runner off as she's making that run? There's all sorts of details that would perhaps make that goal not happen, and that's where the U.S. will learn. And same thing on the 1st goal. You've got to back it up a few passes to see how things broke down.
Jill Ellis told us yesterday they're still dealing with nuances in their shape.
And just reading cues of the game. It'll be interesting to see how France responds if they open up, if they get confident, and the U.S. is able to pounce on it.
Rose Lavelle will take it from this near side. Lavelle went to the near post. And that one hit side netting. Goal kick for France. If you're just joining us, you're probably surprised at the scoreline. Not that France isn't good. They are. They're the number 3 ranked team in the world. But no one really scores 2 goals in a couple of minutes against the USA this early in a game. Just doesn't happen. Hasn't happened.
And not on home turf as well, with a trophy at stake. But this is all about the growth in the process of building towards the World Cup. It's not necessarily about winning this trophy, but let me be clear, this U.S. team wants to win that trophy and expects to win that trophy, so they're going to have to respond.
Karshawi intercepted. Pushed all the way back to Sam Mewis. Good ball up the middle. Now the U.S. breaks. Lloyd. It was Heath on the run. Intercepted. And the foul of the U.S. in trying to recover. Free kick for France. Up on his left side, Majri. And that one's blocked. French are first to the ball. Big switch. Toliti to the right. Perisset getting it back from Tomis. Ball is turned over. Press played it back to go forward. He's away from Lloyd though. U.S. lost it too quickly. They were trying to get into a rhythm to counter.
And sometimes you need that player to get on the ball and just slow it down. Just take a sideways touch, not just ping it around. You slow it down when you have no pressure.
Ball is coming back into USA territory. Listen there, grabs it. Well, if this game ended like this, when could we ever say, Ali, that the USA finished fourth in a tournament, especially on home soil? Probably the answer is never. But that's a possibility, and it will be a probability if this thing continues. But there's still a long way to go, so early in the game. Foul is called there. France knows they haven't seen much yet from the USA, but they're expecting to, I'm sure.
And I don't expect a 2-0 to hold up at the end of this match.
Floated long by Ali Long, cleared away.
But you talk about perhaps being at the bottom of a tournament. There's intangibles within that the U.S. will not be happy about. But within this process, they've willingly admitted they're willing to take some lumps along the way to expose these weaknesses. Whether it's in the formation, maybe you can't play a 3-back against France. These are all things in the evolution of this program that they have to discover.
Going all the way back. Georges to the feet of Gerard. Cleared forward by Mewis. It's coming right back. The U.S. will settle on the wing. Press. Tackle away. Abili. Thought she had a runner breaking, but Tomis was not on the same page. You have to go back to 2014 since the U.S. has lost a couple of consecutive games. Home soil is where they're obviously even stronger. Mewis. Give France a lot of credit for the way they have come out here tonight. And even with a 2-0 lead, they're still going for it. They're not sitting back.
Well, they have a lot to learn. They're preparing for the Euros. They have a lot of young players out there. They're outside backs and Perisset and Karshawi. And in the middle, Tuliti. I mean, there's young players. They want to push on. But I think something we have to point out is that Le Sommer has not started up top this whole tournament. This is her first start up top, and perhaps she has something to prove. She created both those goals.
France looking for more. Majri at the end line, blocked by Lavelle. The U.S. is just forced to clear out.
And as much as you want to play out a pressure, sometimes you just need to knock it.
Pushed across by Toliti. France picking up space there. Continuing. Abili starting it, almost got it through. When she got that ball through, Perisset walks in on goal.
Well, it's those runs out of midfield that are creating problems for the U.S. back line. Anytime you overload these seams and these gaps, the U.S. is having to make decisions. But one thing about France is that they typically try to go down the center of the park where it is jammed, and they're about the only team in the world that is successful in doing that. But they're better when they get the ball wide and they whip crosses in. It's how they scored the 2 goals against England.
Nair will send it forward. She's conceded 2 goals tonight. In her last 11 games, conceded a total of 2. First one tonight was on a penalty kick, and a couple minutes later, Les Sommer made it 2-0 France. Their coach, you can see on the near sideline, Olivier Ishrafni, has not lost in 7 games. 4 wins, 3 draws coming into this one. Here's Heath. It's got to be a card. Cards out of the pocket. Toliti will get it.
And she's behind Heath. That's a bad challenge right there. That's all player.
First booking of the night to Toliti. And Tobin Heath is ready to strike this one from long distance.
But it's so central. You've got to angle that away and get runners across the face of Girard.
Ali Long is high upfield. Mewis at the edge of the box, some of the bigger bodies, big targets. Played up. Long was going for, but the flag was up. Get set for MLS Soccer Sunday. This week on FS1, LA Galaxy matching up with the Portland Timbers. MLS Soccer Sunday this weekend at 7 Eastern on FS1. Portland coming off a win in their opener at home against Minnesota. You can hear the rain now. It's much more intense than at the start of the night. Throw in here for the United States.
And you'd have to think the rain is going to impact both these teams equally, as they like to keep it on the carpet. It gets slick. But Girard may have that in the back of her head, getting one of her first starts against the top team in the world.
Sauerbrunn has played every minute of this tournament so far, the only one for the U.S. Edge of the box, press went up, couldn't bring it down. Tomis. It's won back by the U.S. That was Lynn Williams with some good work. Now the shot from distance. Never got there. Torres, Marjorie, blocked. Sauerbrunn. Mewis forced back. Able to keep the ball, finding short.
And while it's not a great start for the U.S., Mewis has been very good on the ball.
Slotted in towards press. Tackled out. Should be another USA corner. That's Laura Georges, who's played in 3 World Cups for France. Went to Boston College for 4 years. Heath is ready. Goes with a short corner. Williams back to Heath. Something from the training ground. Settled by Morgan Bryan. The low shot was deflected wide. Another corner.
I like that set piece, but in this rain, you're down 2 goals. I would lump that in and put it in the mixer and force France to make a mistake. It almost looks like a poor ball from Heath, but I think that was ultimately planned.
Already the 4th USA corner, but they were trailing 2-0. Trying to make something work on this. Lavelle blocked. Brought back down. Heath out wide. It is kept alive by the U.S. in French territory. Nice move there to Bryan from Heath. And now, after all that, it's out for a France throw-in.
But a good sign when you're getting Morgan Bryan making runs out of the midfield to get involved in the attack for the U.S.
Has anything changed, Ali, for you after that second goal for either team?
I don't think so. I don't think there was any sort of rhythm at all to the match. I think the French created 2 opportunities and put them away, and we weren't able to see either team settle in. And now we're going to get a good look at how each team really wants to approach this match.
Luz Sommer is the player that's down needing treatment. She plays for Lyon. So a teammate of Alex Morgan. 3 goals in the last World Cup for the Samara. There's the French coach who's coaching women really for the first time. He was a men's coach more recently with Sochaux. He replaced Bergerou. And there's always been high expectations of France, but now maybe they should be higher, right, Ali? Because this is a pretty good core group now that they've had.
This is a team that if they don't end up winning a world trophy, it'll be a huge disappointment because they have all the talent in the world and they should be able to do it. But I talked to Camille Abeli on the team, and she said that when USWNT came in, it was all about attacking. With their previous coach, Bergerou, it was about defending. Well, the USWNT, it was about attacking and giving them freedom to play. And look, 2 goals already against the U.S., not a bad start.
And remember, they're hosting the next World Cup in 2019. We'll have that for you on Fox. Before that, they'll be looking to do well at Euro 2017 to be played later this summer. They finished with a perfect record in qualifying and didn't concede a goal. Williams taken away by Renard, but she fouled. Lloyd was also fouled, so we'll see where they're going to put it. They're going to bring it back.
A similar position for the free kick that Tobin Heath had moments earlier. And while Long is one of the targets, so is Samantha Mewis. She's talked about how she wants to be more of a presence in the air with her height.
Heath floating one out. Walk Williams turned away. U.S. nearly had one. And now France is coming back. Good run back. Hard work by Press. And Morgan Bryan, they win the ball cleanly. But Press did well there in the recovery. Well, Lavelle was calling for a ball. She was wide open. U.S. didn't spot her. Long. Right before that free kick was taken, Becky Sauerbrunn came to the USA bench, spoke to someone on the staff. We've seen more of that throughout this tournament. Here's Lloyd pushing it across. I think Press got the last touch. She did. It's a goal kick.
And here we get a look at just this set piece. No one touches it, but that makes Gerard pause, and that ball almost finds its way in the back of the net. This is what you do as a defender. You recover, you assume the worst, and Henry does so and saves her team a goal there. But how about Press? You said it, JP. Press tracked La Samara all the way down the pitch and won the ball back for her team. That is something that Kristen Press has brought to her game, and that is one of the reasons she's starting.
Speaking of Kristen Press, Jenny Taft has more.
And JP, that's exactly what I talked to Kristen Press. It was about the evolution of her game, her time with the national team. She said at first you're taking it all in, then you're doing what you're best at, and right now she needs to focus on that grit, playing with that aggression. That's what Jill Ellis is demanding from Kristen Press, and she said, you know what, that's what I have to do to take my game to the next level. I'm going to showcase it. Sam Mewis said you should see this girl in training.
Picked up by Sauerbrunn. Thank you, Jenny. That's cut off. France playing with all kinds of confidence. A 2-0 lead will do that for you. Karshawi on the left, putting on the brakes. Lost the ball there. Sauerbrunn. Lavelle, 16 in the red of the USA. For Lloyd, who had her head on a swivel there, looking around for options. Heath. Runners forward, 5 in the attack for the U.S. Heath looking, shooting, and it was just wide. That moment of magic that the U.S. has been looking for, we almost saw it there.
This was a great counterattack by the U.S. This game has gotten wide open, and Lavelle is the one who springs it. She cuts inside on that left peg. Nice simple pass to Lloyd, who's in a great gap, and just plays an early ball to Heath, allows her to do her magic, take on 1v1, cuts into her right, beats that second defender, tries to bend it. That is a beautiful thing for the U.S.
Heath brings it down. 17 in the red of the U.S. for Press. She didn't have many options there. Henry drops it off. Karshawi. Intercepted. Bad ball there. but the U.S. couldn't keep it, and now it's coming back over the top. Sauerbrun's on the chase defensively and just cleared it to safety.
This game is very much open. You need some of the leaders on the field to pick and choose when to keep it and slow it down and when to speed it up. The one thing we talk about the evolution of the game for the U.S., the one thing that the U.S. needs to start bringing is those balls in behind. Whether it's Press or Williams getting on that restraining line, the U.S. needs to know when it's on and when to lay that in. But I think that's the layer that the U.S. is not even thinking about bringing right now. They're so focused on possession.
Carly Lloyd trying to leave it off. France working hard with Ivy Lee. She had the first goal in the penalty kick. She converted. Takes it to the end line. Tackled away by Sauerbrunn. Corner kick, France. Good one-on-one defending by Becky Sauerbrunn.
And she's been busy tonight.
Ivy Lee will take it. Ivy Lee drives it across. Second ball. Renard kept it moving. Chip back. And it's going out. What is it? It's going to be a corner. Another one for France from the opposite side.
And Renard is so special in the air. She's the one who got the late game winner against England. She's so tall, and then she's got impeccable timing. One of the things the U.S. has to do is jump early to disrupt her flight or her path to the ball.
Corner for Amel Majri, 2015-16 France Player of the Year with Lyon. On that in-swinger, cleared away. It's no wonder Lyon's in first place, though, when you look at all of the talent that they have. 9 players on this roster. There were 10, but Ouara went home for personal reasons. 9 on this current roster tonight all play for Lyon.
And that also helps the national team because they have that chemistry throughout the year.
This one lower, and not close to the target, cleared out, but it's a throw-in for France. Tomis. Could be 2 U.S. defenders there. Played up for Lloyd. Carly Lloyd going wide. Dropping it off. After this tournament, Carly Lloyd heads over to England to play for Manchester City. She's knocked down, no foul, surprisingly. France back on the ball. Toliti lost it. Lloyd played it back. U.S. early ball. Press does well. Oh, I thought she did well, Allie, to stay on side, but it was just off.
But that is a picture of the ball over the top that the U.S. has been lacking in the previous 2 matches, and I would say in the first 30 minutes as well. Good look by U.S. Nice by Kristen Press to be on that restraining line, and I don't know if she is off.
Yeah.
Looks like she takes that one step, and the timing is good.
Based on that look, she looked on the side. So a half hour gone. France with a 2-0 lead. The 2 goals coming a couple of minutes apart. But regardless of the goals, this is the most pressure we've seen the USA face in a long time.
Well, certainly since the Olympics and their loss against Sweden.
Another ball played long. With Samer. Look at this run. Majri's calling for it in the box. Blocked by Long. Appeals for a penalty. They won't get that. But they will get a corner. Saw Long a little bit as a holding midfielder the other night as a sub, but she did start the first game and played well. She was the best player in the field in game 1 against Germany.
But I don't think they were facing the weapons that this French team has.
Played in. Nair punched it out, but there was some pushing going on inside the box, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. Foul on France.
And you think about how France has been getting in on the U.S. It's all the weak spots. Here's a look at the corner kick. And Nair is just blocked off there. But you think about how the U.S. is, or excuse me, France is getting in. It's all the weak spots. It's the quick transition moments. It's those runs coming across the back line into those gaps. France has clinically been able to pull apart the U.S. I don't know if it's necessarily bad defending. or just being beaten by great offense, because the best offense will be the best defense on any day.
No doubt France watched the first two USA games and might have figured out a weakness that the U.S. has, that they believe they have anyway.
Well, areas to exploit. You're right, JP.
Tomis should be the third straight corner that France has won.
Every system is going to give you something, and it's a matter of whether you figure that out, and France has. They've been getting in those pockets on the outside, on the sides of the outside backs, those runs coming in through the middle.
Majri. Another in-swinger. Misplayed, but the second ball was won by France. Third ball, U.S. will clear out. It was well done by Mewis. And now it's cleared back to the halfway line. Perisset trying to go long. And that was too long. It's a goal kick for Alyssa. Lucimer with that goal earlier. Came in the 10th minute.
And she created the first goal.
Yeah.
Earning that penalty kick for Abilene.
Rose Lavelle, the #1 pick in the NWSL draft. When this is over, she heads to the Boston Breakers in their training camp, their preseason. Tomis. USA trailing 2-0 to France. If this result stands, France will win the SheBelieves Cup trophy, awarded at the end of the night. Majri. Krzyzewski. Coming all the way back to Morgan Bryant. Reynard came way up to help win it. Majri. Lost there. Williams played it back to Lloyd. Into space. Tobin Heath takes off. Presses to the left. Williams down the middle. Lloyd joins as well. Press. Oh, she had Williams there. Terrific defensive play by Reynard. And here's France with Tomis. That speed, that breakaway speed. And Casey Short has some speed of her own. Wins it back.
This is just up and back. Both teams trying to attack the other in these transition moments. But as I sit here and watch, it is very clear that France is trying to play in a 4-3-3, and I think that's catching the U.S. off guard. They're matching up a bit against the three backs to the U.S., and that's allowing them to tie in and keep them under pressure when the U.S. does win it in their defensive half. And the U.S. is struggling to possess out of it.
Lloyd picks it up. But a favorable deflection, got it out wide. The offside flag is up. In the 36th minute.
This is all good from Carly Lloyd. Williams just needs to hold her run, even bend it wide, pull it wider to allow herself more space and time. That's press, excuse me, on the ball.
Lavelle bringing it back for the U.S. Up for Lloyd. Made a nice move to get the ball, and then she was held back and got the call. Free kick for the U.S.
And again, the free kick in that same spot for the U.S. We'll see if the third time's the charm.
Again, it's Tobin Heath. That is Mylène Girard. France's backup goalkeeper got the start tonight. Her team has given her a 2-goal cushion. Heath drives it. Perisset should get to this ball, or she'll let it go out. It's going to be USA's ball. Throw it. She couldn't get to it. 37th minute. A A 2-0 lead. If you're just joining us, goals in the 8th and 10th minutes by Abeli and Lussamer. Heath working it in the end line and then lost it in the end. France will clear it away. Second time in this short tournament that they've scored 2 goals in a game, France. The 2 they got the other night were in the last 10 minutes of the game. This in the first 10. U.S. will have a throw-in. Jenny, what are you seeing on that USA bench from Jill Ellis?
Well, JP, in observing Jill Ellis, I mean, she really has remained positive. Her body language encouraging. She's had moments, teaching moments with Rose Lavelle, Lynn Williams. Obviously, they're closer on her side, but she's been encouraging, even when Rose had that turnover, right back, get back into this. And I'd say her mood right now, still optimistic and encouraging with her team.
Thank you, Jenny. They had 2 very bad minutes in this game, and they're down 2-0. Lavelle will push it back. Sauerbrunn.
Well, what did she tell us the other day? Failing makes lessons harder, but it stays with you longer. And right now, they're learning a lot of lessons.
Sauerbrunn. Heath trying to flick that to press. Here's Marjorie. And it's going to go out of play. Throw in for the U.S. If they can get the next goal, it changes the game. But that's easier said than done. France is not giving them much.
No, and they're pinning the U.S. in on each flank. That right there by Lavelle, that can open things up. U.S. has her body shaped up, finds Lloyd.
Intended for Heath. Well, they've been able to string 3 passes together, not 4. Or one time they get 4, but not 5. And then France takes over. And here they come again. Lussamer. Someone has to close her down. Lussamer dropping it back. Marjorie fell as she tried to take that shot. Heath. Press. Williams is making a run. Now holds up to stay onside. Williams. And that ball bounces away. And Mélène Girard gets it. Renard. Short for Henry. 40th minute, France 2, USA nothing. A result that would give them the SheBelieves Cup tournament trophy. U.S. has to win this game. France only needs a draw to lift that trophy.
You can see how flat Carly Lloyd, Press, and Williams are. They're trying to limit those pockets in behind that France can play make out of.
Quick throw in. Abeli leaves it off. So much experience on this French team. 7 players with over 100 caps. That's more than this USA squad has out on the field tonight. U.S. brought a much younger team into this tournament. 11 players and 20 caps or less. That's not going to get you a penalty.
Great tackle by Ali Long. But Lussamer gets in that space right behind Sauerbrunn. She tries to come, and that opens up a pocket.
Harshawi. Nair will grab it off her line, rolls it ahead. The U.S. could break here. Right now they've got 4 going forward, but there are 5 French players back. Make it 6, now make it 7, and the ball is turned over anyway. Abeli. For Tomis, it's behind her. USA will get it back. Ali Long plays for the Portland Thorns of the NWSL. Their season will get started in a few weeks' time.
And you can see Carly Lloyd coming back from that ball. If she stays higher, she can get it in the gap between the midfield and the backs.
The Lloyd pass to Press. Try to split. Gets fouled, and a free kick for the U.S. Can they sneak one in before the first half comes to a close? Give them something good going into the locker room at halftime.
Well, this is a prime spot for one of those free kicks. Tobin Heath will bend this in with her right peg. Got to get runners across the face of Girard.
Heath will take this free kick. Puts one up there, and it's over the bar. But it was cleared out by France, so it's a corner for the U.S.
And you can just tell everyone's going for the ball, not thinking selflessly to just get in front of that line of sight of Girard.
Williams going over, indicating possibly a short kick. Now she goes away, played in. There's a couple of players going after that ball. The U.S. will get it back with Bryan. Morgan Bryan looking. Trying to go wide. Well defended by Marjorie. Out to the captain, Carly Lloyd. 96 international goals for Carly. Well over 200 caps. On press, U.S. short. Taken away. France back on it. Immediately they look forward and try to break. And a better pass than they might have been through. Nair with it.
Good cover by Heath there, because Short is the one who lost it.
Push to the feet of Tomis. End line, cutting it back. Where she had Toriti. That's a dangerous ball up the middle. Taken away from Lloyd. Henry left it off and can't get through.
And right now, the U.S. is just making poor mental decisions. You don't play that ball at the center of the park. Casey Short, you don't try to dribble in that situation. Get it to your playmakers. These are simple soccer decisions that these players are capable of making, but the pressure in the moment seems to be heavy right now.
On the left side, Marjorie. Right in front of her coach. Ball was lost out. Belongs to the USA. Final minute here, the first half. An interesting first half. Possession, okay in this tournament, but not the number of shots on goal, nor the number of goals.
And that's not a huge focus of the U.S. I know that sounds surprising, but they're focusing on their build-up play. Getting into the attacking third with purposeful movement and in a controlled manner. And the final third is breaking down for them. It's happened in all the games, and that's always the last piece to come. So there's going to be frustration there, of course, but it's a part of this growing process and the evolution of the team.
Seconds left in the first half of this rainy night at RFK Stadium in our nation's capital. This is Rose LaBelle. It's blocked. It stays in play. Press was trying for it. Now it rolls out. It's a USA throw-in with time running out in the first half. 1 minute of stoppage time, minimum of one added on. Throw in for Sauerbrunn in front of the French bench. She'll go back to Ali Long. The U.S. in the middle. Look at the pressure. France immediately after. Carly Lloyd found some room. Carly keeps. Trying to get that ball through. That one's blocked. Mewis has Morgan Bryan beside her. Trying to go longer for Rose LaBelle, and it's too long. It's a goal kick for France.
It's a good idea, the right idea, and LaBelle's in a nice spot there, but Mewis has just got to put a bit of texture on that.
Third straight start for Sam Mewis, gaining confidence throughout this tournament. Waiting for the final whistle here to end the first half. And before that goal kick was taken, that's it. First half has come to a close. Lucemer, maybe the best player in the field tonight so far for France. Tough to tell, they've had so many good players in the first 45. She scored one of the goals. Camille Abeli had the first one. The goals are 2 minutes apart. After 45 minutes of play, France is halfway to the SheBelieves Cup tournament title with a 2-0 lead over the United States.